We're back. It's another Bracketology. Today is February the 4th, Friday, February the 4th. Joe Lenardi just put out another Bracketology with some updates. There's some major shakeups. You see a change along the 2-seed line, and we'll get into it here.
Yeah, it's been a good couple of days of basketball since his last update, since our video on Tuesday. Quite a bit has changed, so it's gonna be fun to look at the changes.
Right away, we'll start here. We get on the bubble, and you see right away one of the teams we were talking about and high about, BYU, falls into the last four byes, still in the tournament. But the name that goes missing off that list is North Carolina. In our last Bracketology, we talked about it a little bit about how North Carolina could make that jump. They've got a big game coming up here on Saturday. I thought that if North Carolina was going to make a jump out of there, it would take them beating Duke on Saturday. But according to Joe Lenardi, they've made that jump prior to the game.
Yeah, I guess them beating Louisville on the road was enough to get them off the bubble. Louisville's never an easy place to play, so I guess that's what got Joe to bump them up.
And there's I don't see any other major shakeups on this list here. Everything else looks like it's fairly similar. Notre Dame jumps into the first four out from the next four out. There's one thing that I see there.
Yeah, the only major thing I think is BYU losing 3 straight right now, jumping down to a week ago. They were in a great place to make the tournament. 3 straight losses now. Now they're firmly on the bubble, and so they have some work to do. They got a big game against Gonzaga.
It's going to be big. They're struggling, and now they have Gonzaga. It doesn't get any easier. So lots ahead for the Cougars there, and we'll move right on. Try and move at a quicker pace this time. We're going to jump into the bracket and look at the field here. Still at number 1 overall is Auburn. They play Southern, the winner of the first playing game. That's Southern and New Orleans. Let's jump right in. Zach, Auburn through.
Yeah, Auburn's through. Auburn is just too dominant.
They got depth. They look convincing against Alabama, a game that we highlighted and talked about. So it's easy for us to put Bama through right there. St. Mary's, Oklahoma.
This is one of those toss-up games. It's 50-50. I'm still leaning St. Mary's. I like their play style. I like their size and their veteran team.
St. Mary's here. The last Bracketology we saw that game was Miami and Oklahoma, so some change up in that matchup. Xavier and North Texas. What do you see?
Ooh, I don't know about you. This feels like a game that could be an upset to me.
Yeah.
This feels like it. You got a team in Xavier who's won a lot of good games, but this just feels like an upset maybe. I don't know. Have you seen Xavier? I haven't seen Xavier a ton this year.
I haven't seen much Xavier. I don't have too much to mention on them. We'll go with what you think here, Zach.
Yeah, let's go upset.
Xavier. Yeah, we'll go upset. And North Texas, there's our first upset over Xavier. You got Illinois and Drake.
Illinois with an amazing game on Wednesday. Kofi was so dominant. He was looking like maybe National Player of the Year. Like he's looking like he could become that guy.
Yeah, it was a matchup of potential National Player of the Years with Kofi Cochran taking on and the Illinois Illini taking on the Wisconsin Badgers and Johnny Davis.
And Johnny struggled. He shot only 5 for 19. Illinois has good defending guards, but it gives me even more confidence to pick Illinois to easily win this game for straight.
We'll send Illinois right through. We'll jump now to LSU and Davidson. LSU did not look good in their last time out, losing to Ole Miss.
That's a tough one. I don't know about you. I'm not confident really in either one of these teams.
No, Davidson, they've made it into the rankings this year, but they lost fairly quickly once they got in there. Does the pedigree of LSU get them through?
I think their defense might sneak LSU through. I saw actually a statistic recently. It's LSU might, if they continue on, they'll have the best defensive rating. I think it was Ken Palm's defensive rating of a team ever.
Yeah.
And I was really shocked by that. I knew they were good defensively. I didn't realize they were having that type of historic season.
Yeah. They're not a team that you hear a lot about Texas Tech's defense, but LSU's is not a team to get overshadowed with in terms of defense. Next we jump, you see the change right there. The number 3 Kansas Jayhawks looks as if they fell from what would have been the 8th ranked overall team, according to Joe Lenardi, and they fell to the 9, which gives them the first 3 seed. but there they are sitting there at number 3 against Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I think it was a little surprising to me they dropped to a 3 seed. He decided to put Arizona above Kansas. Arizona has 2 losses, Kansas has 3, but I think Kansas' resume is better. So that was one of the big shocks for me in the changes this week. But I think Kansas cruises here. Kansas has a fantastic team.
Kansas has a big game this weekend. They play Baylor at home at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. We'll see how that turns out. That's going to be a big game. In terms of the way this looks, strictly speaking, as a Kansas fan, I like this layout a lot better for them. We saw them facing USC early on last time. So I think if you're Kansas, although you fell a little bit in terms of the rankings, I think you're happy with, I think you like this a little better in terms of matchup and the way everything shakes out. Indiana and San Francisco is the next one on here.
Yeah, San Francisco had a big win last night over BYU on the road. One they needed because San Francisco didn't have a lot of opportunities to like get another signature win. They got another quad 1 win yesterday against BYU. And so, I'll go since I had that big win against BYU, I'm thinking we might go San Francisco.
San Francisco goes through. We got the UCLA Bruins and the Cal State University Fullerton. UCLA. Battle of California here. We'll send UCLA through. Again, we got an LA San Francisco matchup here. We got UCLA taking on San Francisco. Zach, do you want to send UCLA through? Or do you want to put a little bit of a break on that?
I like UCLA enough to I think they get the win there.
There we go. Kansas LSU.
I don't even know if this game's fairly close. Well, no. I really don't think this game. I think Kansas is too much for LSU. I don't think LSU could even come close to scoring the ball enough to compete with Kansas.
You said it. I fully believe it. But you said it, and I 100% agree with what you said. I think Kansas is going to find a way to score. They got that win the other day without Ochai, and it showed their depth. We'll see what Kansas looks like. I haven't seen any updates about whether or not Ochai is going to be there tomorrow against Baylor. Could be a key piece in determining the outcome of that game, or if Kansas has to find another win without him. We'll see how that plays out, but we'll move on. North Carolina, Illinois. You send me the line I threw on this one, or you see the Mean Green pulling this upside off?
Yeah, I think we got to send Illinois through. North Texas is not going to have a guy down low that's going to even be able to handle Kofi Coburn in the slightest. Mm-hmm. So I think Illinois is too much for him.
That's fair. And then we got Auburn, St. Mary's. What do you like? What do you see?
I would like to see Auburn get upset in a 1-8 game, and I think certain 8 seeds might be able to pull off the upset. I'm not as high as I've seen other people are on Auburn. Neither of us are. Mm-hmm. But I do think Auburn would get by St. Mary's.
I think Auburn wins this game. I am actually higher on Auburn than I was at the start of the week. I think Auburn showed a lot in their win. So they're winning me over, but I'm not still 100% sold on Auburn. We'll see. We'll stay with Auburn. We got Auburn, Illinois.
This is a tough one.
This is a matchup we saw in our last bracketology, and I believe we had Illinois going through on this one. Zach, do you stay with Illinois, or did Auburn win you over?
Illinois was super impressive this week. So was Auburn, though. But since we went Illinois last week, or this in the past bracketology, and I think it's really a 50-50 game. Well, I could kind of roll with Auburn here. After seeing how dominant they were against Alabama.
Auburn has won some people over with that Alabama game, including ourselves. They've looked good. They're going to continue to look good. We'll see. Maybe they will, but that's good for them. Kansas, UCLA, 2 big name schools. Something here?
I think I want to go the National Player of the Year candidate. Don't get me wrong. They got Johnny Juzang at UCLA. Mm-hmm. They got Jaime Jaquez, Tiger Campbell. They got a complete team too. But I think I like Kansas to get to the Elite Eight here.
We'll send Kansas through. I think I would agree with that. Networks would love this game and bring you good viewers, bring in good ratings. You got Kansas, Auburn. This is a rematch of a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
in the tournament. Auburn, I believe, won that game.
Yeah, I think it was that 2019. I believe the year. I think it was.
That sounds right. That might be right. 2019. But either way, we saw Auburn beat Kansas in that matchup. We get a rematch here in the Elite Eight. Auburn to me.
Yeah, I think Auburn right now. I think Kansas could do something like tomorrow that maybe changes our opinion. But as of right now, it looks like Auburn's a dominant. We'll
send the Auburn Tigers through. You'll see that change right there. They've won people. I'll say it again. They've won people over, and they're going to keep continuing to impress. We'll move down the bracket. We'll move into this next region. We got the Purdue Boilermakers taking on Norfolk State and UNC Wilmington.
Yeah, Purdue had a great game against Minnesota. Like they, from start to finish, blew them out. Purdue is a great team. Move them on.
We'll move Purdue right through. We got TCU Wake Forest.
That's a 50-50 game for me. I've seen TCU. We watch Big 12 quite a bit more than ACC. So I think for me and Will, I think TCU would probably be the team.
TCU goes through. We got Alabama here at the 5 seed against Toledo. Alabama. I still got confidence in Bama. I think Bama can make a run. I think they showed parts in that game that makes me confident in their game against Auburn that makes me confident that maybe they could make a run. But at the same time, they showed what we've talked about, the inability to string a couple games together. But we'll say Alabama here.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll stick with it. Got Providence, Furman.
Yeah, Furman Paladins. I think they're North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah.
Very small school. This is a 4-13 matchup. I do like this Providence team pretty well. In the last bracketology, I had them getting upset. I kind of, they're still a team I could see getting upset, but they're 19-2 now. They keep handling business like game after game. They beat teams like Texas Tech, Wisconsin. Wisconsin was out Johnny Davis, but I think let's go Providence here. I don't want to disrespect the Friars.
We'll go with the Friars right there. You got the Texas Longhorns taking on Seton Hall. Texas coming off their loss against Texas Tech, where they went to Lubbock, and they're taking on Seton Hall. Seton Hall has not looked good. I think you're going to lean Texas here is what I'm thinking.
I am leaning Texas, but the 6-11 is always a tricky one. But in this 6-11, I kind of am leaning Texas.
I can agree with that. We'll send Texas through. Houston and Wagner. Wagner was a team that you spoke highly of in the last bracketology. Zach, do you see Wagner taking off Houston? Houston's done some good things this year, but they are banged up. They're missing pieces. That's not the same Houston team that they went on their run with last year.
That's a good point. I am pretty high on this Wagner team. I think, and I saw Wagner won again yesterday. So Wagner's up to 15-2 now. I think if there's a 14-3 this year, it's this one. And I think we roll with the upset here.
We'll take upset city and we'll take Wagner. USC Loyola Chicago.
Ooh, that's a tricky matchup. I could see this one going either way. Loyola plays good defense, not as good as years past, but still really good. USC played horrendous yesterday. Absolutely horrendous against Arizona State, who was 6-12. They almost got beaten. I think they shot the ball below 30% yesterday. I think Loyola Chicago could limit them to doing a similar type of game, under 30%. I kind of lean Loyola Chicago here to get the 10/7.
We will send the Ramblers, Loyola Chicago Ramblers, right?
Yeah, the Ramblers.
Sister Jean.
Sister Jean, baby.
They'll keep moving. We got the Duke Blue Devils taking on the Princeton Tigers. This is the same matchup that we saw in the last bracketology. Duke through? Duke goes through. I think Duke's going to look fairly they're going to win that game fairly easily. I don't think there's much potential for difficulty, but we'll see. You never know what the Blue Devils are going to look like. Here we got Duke and Loyola Chicago now. Zach, I see that look on your face.
Yeah, I think Loyola, they've given like 3 tournaments now, I think, or at least 2. They've given teams issues in the second round. I could see Loyola Chicago giving.
Do you
Duke
have
really
that?
issues.
Do you have it in you to call it, Zach?
I honestly, I have it in me.
Call it. We'll go with it. The Loyola Chicago Ramblers upset the Blue Devils. They take out Coach K in the round of 32 in his final year.
It'd be great to see. It'd be great to see.
It'd be a story. It'd be in terms of storylines, I'm sure they'd love to see Coach K go far this year. I don't know how much I believe that this Duke team has the potential to go far this year, but storylines and TV wise, there would be no one happier than CBS and the NCAA to have Duke go far, but I don't think that happens this year. Do I think it will be that early? Maybe not, but I don't see a Final Four run in the Blue Devils this year.
I would agree.
Texas and Wagner.
I think Texas. I think Wagner would pull up the upset, but I can't really see him pulling off back-to-back.
Send Texas straight through. We got Alabama, Providence, 5-4. Alabama string 2 games together. We go back to it.
I think they can. I think this is actually a good matchup for Bama. I think Bama can get by Providence.
Send Bama. Purdue, TCU.
Purdue has lost to some teams in the skill level range of TCU. Like they've lost to Rutgers. They've lost to a couple other Big Ten teams. That was Wisconsin. That's a higher seeded team, but I think I can see Purdue getting past TCU here.
Send the Boilermakers on through. Purdue was our champion in our last bracket. We'll see how far they go. You got Purdue, Alabama.
Ooh, that's tricky.
String 3 games. How much are you asking out of Bama here?
I think I could see it happening. They would have an issue down low with handling Zach Edey, Travion Williams would be a real problem.
Who dictates pace in this game is the question.
I think so too. I think both these teams, whoever controls, they play the way they want to play, I think can win this game. And if Bama can shoot the ball well, this is a tough task for Bama, but I could see him winning this game.
I could see a world where Bama wins this game. It is going to be who dictates pace. Can Bama get their game going? Can they get their guard play to the point where it needs to be to beat Purdue? We'll see, but we'll send them through. That's our champion from last time. Upset in the Sweet 16. Texas, Loyola, Chicago.
I like Texas here. I've been liking Texas more and more lately. Every time I see them play, like
coming off a loss, you're still high on Texas.
I'm still high because that game against Tech. I mean, there was a lot of energy in that arena, and they had that was a tough battle for them.
Here we go. We'll start with another Texas school. Or we got to finish picking this. My bad. Alabama, Texas, Zach.
Ooh, let's go Bama. We've been talking about how Bama is a Final Four potential, and it sets up an Alabama
a rematch. A third time this year.
That'd be the third time, and you never know. These teams, they can meet in the SEC championship as well.
Fourth, you never know. This could be. We'll see how it goes. We got Baylor, Appalachian State.
Baylor, easy. Baylor's a great team.
The Baylor Bears going through. We'll see what Baylor looks like after tomorrow. Can they go into Fog Allen Fieldhouse and get a win? Typically, Baylor has shown an ability to get some wins in Fog Allen. They won there last year, losing at home though against Kansas. They kind of show reverse splits in that sense where it's tough to win. Usually it's tough to win on the road in the Big 12. Well, between these two teams, it's tough to win at home against them, but we'll see. You got Arkansas, Murray State.
Arkansas they've been shooting up. They just keep winning games. They're winning. I think
Hogs.
I like Eric Musselman's one of my favorite coaches on college basketball. I think we go Hogs.
We'll send the Hogs here. Ohio State and San Diego State, Oregon.
Man, any of these three, who knows who wins that play-in game? Who knows who wins this 5-12 game? This is just
it's a mess.
This is a mess right here. Not super confident in any of these teams, but I think I said San Diego State winning last time, so I feel like Oregon could win.
Or Ohio State.
I can see Ohio State. This is a coin
Oregon's
flip.
been hot.
Oregon has been hot. They did win at Colorado yesterday by 15.
Right now, let's send Oregon. The way the Ducks are playing right now, we'll send the Ducks through. They've been hot. They've looked good. They've bounced back after a rough start to a year, and they're back here. Marquette, San Diego State.
I've been loving Marquette. Like they are my
Villanova the other day. I think
by 10. And they handled that game all the way through the entire thing. Like this is one of my favorite teams to watch. I mean, even starting from the beginning of the year when they beat Illinois, we were without Kofi, but like this team is really legit.
Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler, we'll send them through. Uconn and BYU. We saw BYU that you mentioned they've lost 3 straight. Have a tough game this week against Gonzaga. Does Uconn knock them off here? Uconn's also coming off a loss. They lost to Creighton.
Yeah, at home. Honestly, I love the 6/11 game typically, and I feel like the 11 seed BYU could get this game because BYU is going to right the ship at some point, and I think they're going to find their way in the tournament, and they could do a little bit of damage in the first weekend.
Here we go. We'll send Michigan State, Weber State, Dame Lillard University here.
This is another 14-3 that actually could happen, but do I think 2 14-3s will happen in the same tournament? No, so let's go Michigan State.
Michigan State will send the Sparty through. Iowa State, Cyclones, North Carolina Tar Heels. We saw North Carolina. We mentioned they climbed their way out of the bubble, the quote-unquote bubble, according to Joe Lunardi's stuff right there. They got a big game against Duke this week. We'll see how they look at home against the Blue Devils in a rivalry game. But as for this game, do you send North Carolina through or do you send Iowa State through?
I think Iowa State's proven it more throughout the year.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen them play, and I like the way they play. They play hard. They play hard, and they're defensive minded. I think they have success.
Cyclones go. Kentucky, Longwood. Vanderbilt hung around with Kentucky this last week.
They did.
I still think Kentucky gets this game. I still believe very highly in Kentucky, but
me too. I think Kentucky just kind of had they were coming off that huge win. They're playing a lowly Vanderbilt team, and so they didn't bring it all the way.
Don't read too much into it. Don't read too much into it. They found a way to get a win. I think that's the thing you take out of it is they won. We'll move on. You got Iowa State and Kentucky. Do you send Kentucky again?
I would send Kentucky again. We saw this matchup from last bracketology, but I think this Kentucky team is a little too much for Iowa State right now.
Sir, we'll send the Kentucky Wildcats through that. BYU and Michigan State. You send Michigan State? Do you think BYU can get this?
I think BYU might be able to get this because Michigan State at times, if they don't get out and run, if they're not in transition, they struggle to score. And if BYU can make this a half-court game, this game gets really interesting. And I think if BYU does that, BYU wins the game.
BYU wins the game. Okay, we'll send BYU through right here. We'll put them through, and we'll keep moving. We got Marquette. You got the Golden Eagles taking on the Oregon Ducks is who I believe we picked.
Yep.
You got Marquette.
I got Oregon. Marquette. This team I'm in love with right now. This is a great team.
They're a fan favorite. Zach, would you call them your team of the week right now?
They're definitely my team of the week. And Marquette is a team that was on no one's radar at the beginning of the year, but Shaka Smart's got those boys playing.
Shaka's got them going. Baylor, Arkansas. Baylor?
We saw this game last year, and it was actually, I think Arkansas gave them their toughest test. I think they did give them their toughest test, but that's tough. This one's tough. If Baylor's going to lose in the second week, and I mean the first weekend, it could be this game.
It could be this game,
and there could be some chaos in this region. And I kind of feel like making some chaos in this region right now. With an Arkansas,
we'll send it. Hey, you don't have to tell me twice to eliminate the Baylor Bears. You don't have to tell me twice. The second you say it, I'll do it. I'm not high on Baylor this year. I don't know where their score is going to come from. You want to hear me talk about Baylor? You want to hear my feelings on Baylor? Go watch the next video. Feel free to replay it when Baylor beats Kansas on Saturday and we record our next video. But we'll see what Baylor looks like. We will send Arkansas through here. I've liked Arkansas, and so we'll send it. Arkansas, Marquette, though, Zach. You mentioned how you were high on both these teams. Marquette, you got as your team of the week. Does Marquette get a win here as the?
This is an interesting
4
seed, 8 seed game. You don't see this game very often. But I think Marquette with Justin Lewis, Tyler Kolek at point guard, I think they'd be just a little too much for Arkansas, who at times it can be quite inconsistent. But I like Marquette here.
Marquette goes through. Kentucky Wildcats, BYU.
I think Kentucky be too much, especially with Shibwe, because BYU's lost both their centers this year.
All right, Marquette, Kentucky, Zach.
Oh my goodness, this is an absolutely tough game to call.
Two teams that are hot. You're high on them. If you're saying two teams that people are buying stock in right now at an excessive rate, Kentucky and Marquette.
These are those teams. And man, as much as I want to see Kentucky lose this game, and as much as it pains me to put them in a back-to-back Final Fours in these bracketology videos, I think we got to put Kentucky.
Wildcats, they've looked good recently. And they not that Marquette hasn't, but at the level at which Kentucky has looked good, they have looked good. Now, Gonzaga and Colgate.
Gonzaga beats them by 40.
Gonzaga beats them by 40. That's, I don't think there's a question there. The Colgate toothpaste. No, Gonzaga takes that game. Boise State, and Miami.
Could go either way easily. I'll let you call that one. I think these are two teams. Either one could win.
I think Boise State slows this game down to a crawl. And they find a way. The Broncos win this one. But we're going to just make it right away.
Yeah. Gonzaga, Boise State's not good for Boise State. There's absolutely no chance.
We're going to jump ahead and just put that one through. Villanova and Iona. We were high on Rick Pitino in our last video, last bracketology. It felt like a movie with how long it was. But do you see Rick Pitino getting his boys past Jay Wright?
Wildcats? I do actually. I think Villanova has not been impressive lately, and I could see Iona pulling off the 12 or 5.
I don't think Villanova's looked very impressive. There's been a couple of spurts this season where they've looked good, but I'm not high on Villanova at all this year. So I'm fine putting Iona through that. Wisconsin, Vermont. Wisconsin coming off their loss to Illinois.
I think Wisconsin's a great team still. They shot the ball poorly, but I think that's a great team, and I think they get through that.
You were high on Vermont in our last video.
I was. Vermont's a good team, and they're a team that you never know. They could be Sweet 16.
Am I wrong to think you're going to put through Wyoming here? Am I wrong? Knowing your feelings and from our last video on the other two teams in this.
Yeah, I do want to go Wyoming again. I think Wyoming great play good ball too, but I like Wyoming a ton. I think Wyoming's a team that was gonna surprise people. I know that.
Out of the Mountain West, the mighty Mountain West. You will meet Trey. He's a big Mountain West fan. He's gonna ride or die with the Mountain West. He'll give you his spiel on the Mountain West. But we'll put the Mountain West Wyoming Broncos? Cowboys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cowboys. We'll put them through. We got Texas Tech and Oakland here. Tech.
We're big Tech guys. Tech it is.
Tech moves down in part. I believe, were they a 4 in the last bracket?
I can't remember. I think they might have been a 4.
Yeah, I believe they were for them to move down to this part of the bracket because we had that in the 16 against Gonzaga.
Yeah, you're right. They did. So they moved up.
So we'll go to Iowa, Colorado State.
Not impressed at all with Iowa. Colorado State's actually not been playing good East recently either. But as a whole, I believe in David Roddy, Isaiah Stevens. Isaiah Stevens is one of the best point guards in the country that a lot of people don't know about. David Roddy can get buckets like hardly anyone else in college basketball. So Colorado State's going to win that.
2 weeks from next weekend, Zach is going up to Boise State, and he's going to see the Broncos taking on the Colorado State Rams. He'll give you his breakdown of the Colorado State Rams in 2 weeks in a video, but
I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably gonna root for Colorado State in video. I'm just gonna be rooting for him, piss people off.
Wear some green.
Wear some green.
Arizona and Seattle here, Zach. Do you send Arizona through?
Arizona for sure.
And Benedict Mathurin.
Fantastic player.
Send them through. Do they beat Colorado State now, Zach?
Ooh. I think they do beat Colorado State. I think this is a really good game, though, an underrated matchup.
I think it could be a very good game. I think it could be outstanding, actually. Tech, Wyoming, Tech.
I think Tech. Wyoming is a team that could get Sweet 16 against many other teams. I think Tech's got defenders all over the place, and I think they can get this win.
Iona, Wisconsin.
The dream ends for Iona here. I got Wisconsin.
I believe we had Iona making it to the 16 in our last bracketology, but in this version, they get a loss against Wisconsin. So I said that so sadly. Wisconsin. But Wisconsin does beat Iona right here. Rick Pitino's boys are going to fall. Gonzaga, Wisconsin here. Zach, do you see another matchup of Tech and Gonzaga maybe? Do you see Wisconsin getting a win here?
I think I see Gonzaga getting through here against Wisconsin. Too many weapons for Gonzaga.
There we go. And did I skip a step here? Do you think Arizona's going to beat Tech here?
I actually think Arizona could beat Tech here.
Yeah.
I think they could. I think Arizona has enough weapons, enough guys where they could do this.
So we'll send Arizona through then. We'll put them through. The question is going to be for Tech, where does their scoring come from? And Arizona can score. So that if Arizona shoots the ball well, they put up the points they can. I don't think Tech's going to have the power to match that. So it's something to watch. Now, Arizona and Gonzaga.
A West Coast battle here. This is a West Coast battle.
We see a Conference of Champions team make it to the Final Four. Bill Walton's finest.
Bill would want us to pick Arizona.
We'll do it for Bill.
And we love Bill Walton.
Bill Walton, we're a big Bill Walton fans here. We're working on a Bill Walton, some stuff with some Bill Walton quotes for you guys. So that's coming along. We'll be out with that in a little bit.
Arizona, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I believe this was the 1997 national championship.
Wildcat matchup.
This is a battle of Wildcats.
Which is the superior Wildcat, the West Coast Wildcat or the Midwest Wildcat?
Let's go West Coast Wildcat.
West Coast Wildcat.
I don't want to see Kentucky into the championship, and not just a bias. I think Arizona really has the weapons to do this. Benedict Mathurin, one of the best. They have big men, Koloko, Tubelis. This Arizona team can actually make it to a championship game.
Auburn, Alabama.
Oh man, battle of Alabama teams. Holy
Auburn
cow.
is 2-0 against Alabama this year.
And do they get over the hump? I think in a Final Four game, Alabama could find the juice.
Yeah.
They could find the juice and get to a title game. I don't know, but is that Auburn too much? They could be too much.
I think Auburn's got too much scoring. Alabama can't defend at the caliber, I don't think.
No, they can't.
Alabama gave up 100 points to Auburn, which is a lot for a college basketball game. Which is a lot for a college basketball game.
That is true. Yeah, if this matchup happens, Auburn has a little more weapons. If Alabama has a day, they get super hot.
Yeah, they could.
They could.
Shackelford and
Quinterly
go off. Davison goes off.
But yeah, Auburn in general, more weapons. Flanagan, Jabari Smith, Wendell Green. Probably too much for him.
Auburn, Arizona.
West Coast
is Charles Barkley going to be celebrating this
this matchup
this time around? I believe they were in the championship. No, or they're in the final.
They were in the final four.
Final four. Sorry, yeah,
they were close though. They were a foul, a foul in the 3-point shot on Kyle Guy away from making that championship game. But I think I like Arizona here. You know, people aren't really as high in Arizona now just because they did get the win yesterday against UCLA, but yeah. I like Arizona.
Ladies and gentlemen, they do become the conference of champions in this bracketology. Bill Walton's prophecy comes true, and the Arizona Wildcats make the Pac-12 the conference of champions, baby.
Let's go.
Go Wildcats. Zach, do you want to take a shot at the score here?
I think this is a fairly high-scoring game. I think this game's probably in the high 70s. You're probably talking about a game that's like 79, 76 maybe. Maybe how about a Benedict Mathurin?
79, 76.
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin hits a buzzer beater
for a win. Hey, we love that. We love that one. Oh, we like Benedict Mathurin here on this show, so we'll take him. And there's our bracket right now. Quick scroll right here.
Got Arizona winning it all. It was fun. It was fun making this. It's fun making these bracketologies.
Hope you guys enjoy them. And stay tuned. We're going to make a video also previewing this weekend here. We got some big matchups this weekend.
Huge matchups.
Check it out.
I'm super excited for tomorrow's games. They are looking maybe the best they have all season. That's how good they are.
Check out our preview of Saturday's games as well. Come back on Tuesday. We're going to have another bracketology for you, as well as we're going to have a breakdown of the matchups on the weekend. And
I see you guys in the like, comment, subscribe.
Get us going here. We're you guys are doing great, and we're going to hope to keep building. We're going to keep providing content. We're going to keep putting stuff out there for you to enjoy. Give us your support. Keep us going here.
I see you guys in the next one.